I took over, the number one priority for me was one, getting the talent depth a lot more. I know I heard Steph talk earlier about there was only really 8 or 9 players that would continually get selected, and to me that just wasn't good enough. And I went about trying to introduce new players and also give the youngsters an opportunity. But for your youngsters to really develop, they need great leaders and they need experienced personnel around them. And, part of that was to bring Ryan Campbell back. And, I know that he left Dutch cricket in about 2011 after the World Cup, and he just wasn't happy with, the professionalism of the game in the Netherlands and how the national team went about their work, in big tournaments and playing international cricket. And, I guess I had to show him that I was here to change the whole way that we were going to go about it. And I think, we proved that over and over again. The facts are that the word great in sport gets thrown around way too easily. But, Ryan Campbell will go down as the greatest associate cricketer that's ever played international cricket. His numbers stack up against everyone, and he's been absolutely phenomenal for us. And what he represents to us is hope. And he also represents a guy that makes everyone better just by his presence being in the dressing room. Well, I think what you find is with our guys, and I know you are speaking to Freddie Klassen, and it will come out in any words that he says, that these guys bring passion for our team, and they love playing for the Netherlands. They play for the Netherlands because of their heritage. Their parents are Dutch, or they're either born in the Netherlands. So, Roelof loves playing for us, and he just loves the contest, and that's what he brings to us. So, when he gets here, you're in a battle, and he lifts literally our standards through the roof again with our intensity, and in the field, if he's got the ball or he's got a bat in hand. This is such an important time for Dutch cricket, and I've had a million meetings with the board and those sort of guys that we've worked so hard, and we owe it to every Dutch player of the past who got us to this point. And winning the World Cricket League was going to give us an opportunity to go on the world stage consistently in the Super League, and we needed to do that and do it really well. So we feel we have a responsibility to now push the game forward. As we saw in the 3-match Super League series against Ireland, it was the first time ever that cricket was shown live in the Netherlands, and Ziggo Sport showed it and they loved it. And obviously having a great result, 2-1 for us, was, the people that were watching it, because you've got to understand that, every sportsman, I believe, started because they saw it on TV or they saw something that grabbed their attention. And, for us, our Dutch kids don't see that. They either watch football or they watch hockey, and remembering that there is no sport in schools in Holland. Look, we are making the very most of what we've done. And this is the credit to this wonderful team that I have, is that they've driven cricket forward in the Netherlands. And hopefully, if we can do well, stay in the Super League and also have good performances at the World Cup, we can then get that next generation of youngsters coming through the system, and the supply lines will be there, and the talented youngsters will play at international level, and they can have a career at international cricket by being a full-time Dutch cricketer, which is, to me, the end result. I moved to Hong Kong, I guess, for a great cricket opportunity. I was made the head coach and high performance manager and cricket director, basically, of the Kowloon Cricket Club, which is one of the truly great cricket places in world cricket. I think the ground is valued at something like $1.1 billion for the real estate alone. But that gave me an opportunity to get up there, but also to be a part of the Hong Kong setup. The coach there, Charlie Burke, straight away signed me as their assistant coach. And it was really the first time I had a real close look at associate cricket. You know, for us guys that come from, and girls who come from mainstream cricket, Australia, India, England, South Africa, these sort of teams, you don't really think too much about the associate world. But Hong Kong showed me what it was and what the passion is needed. And, you know, you don't have all the money in the world. You need to find good people who will do multitasking, basically. And the players do it not for, you know, for cash. They do it for the love of the game. And, you know, that to me is just one of the most wonderful things that I can see and talk about in associate cricket. I think the Dutch could see what I was doing. And when I applied, they interviewed me, and luckily I got the position. Now, my wife is actually Dutch, and, you know, my son, who was born in Hong Kong, has a Dutch passport as well. So for me to go to the Netherlands was exciting that my wife was going to live there for the first time, and my son. And I knew that if we could win the World Cricket League, you know, I knew that we could get into the Super League, which is going to be the first time ever that an associate country are going to get the opportunity of playing against the big boys over an extended period of time. And, you know, that's something that all associates crave for. You know, the thing is, and again, this might sound like me moaning a little bit and maybe coming up with some excuses, and it's not that at all. But, you know, the facts are the Dutch haven't played a T20 International since April of this year against Nepal, and that wasn't, you know, our full strength team. To be honest, the last time our full strength Dutch team were together was when we won the qualifiers back in 2019. So, look, we've got lots to iron out in this prep period. We are behind the eight ball in terms of preparation due to our lack of playing. You know, I look at all our opponents and they've been playing lots and lots of cricket and lots of games. And unfortunately, through COVID and, you know, with fixturing and stuff, it just hasn't fallen our way. So we really need to work things out. I don't know my final 11 for that first game against Ireland. At the end of the day, we're going to spend these next probably up till the 17th or 18th when we play Ireland, just fine tuning and tweaking and making sure that we have the right combination. And like I tell my players all the time, and they're probably sick of hearing it, we don't have the perfect 11. What we do have is the 11 players that we think are the best suited for that particular fixture. Okay, so one thing that really gets under my skin is watching all these franchise leagues around the world, and the players that they use are always the same. They just reuse. They don't do their research. They go, oh yeah, he's done okay in this competition, and they bring them all in. I'm telling you that there would be 100, maybe not 100, 10 maybe, that, you know, from the associate world that could do really well in these franchise competitions if given an opportunity. We've seen Tim David do it from Singapore. I know he's Australian, but he played for Singapore. That's how he got through. And we've seen it with Rashid Khan. We've seen it with Samdeep Lamachani. Mate, the Dutch have got a number of them. The one that I will throw out just from the start, I'll give you two. Max O'Dowd at the top of the order could play in franchise cricket, no doubt. He's an absolute gun, and hopefully his performances here at the World Cup open the eyes to the world of what he can do. And the other one I'll say is Colin Ackerman. Colin represents a really experienced professional who's still young, and the guy captains Leicester. He bats in the top order, probably may open the bowling for us at times with his off-spin bowling, and an absolute gun fielder. So there's two blokes that I would say keep a really close eye on in this competition.